Hello, I'm Asif Farouk and we're here at Finextra Future Money 2014 and I'm joined today by Danielle Anderson of Harris Hoole. Danielle, thanks for joining us. So there was discussion about the demise of cheques as we've seen in the UK, but I wanted to gather your thoughts on the demise of cash. Is that something you can see happening in the future?
That's a challenging one. I don't think cash will ever have the same demise in terms of the rate, as well as it'll have a longer tail, because I think there's always a place. Now, as a retailer that has lower transaction values, I think that sometimes it is just the easiest thing. That said, as mobile payments picks up and has more convenience for the consumer, right, so they don't have to carry change, and from the merchant side and the retailer side, that the cost of that channel gets better, so there's lower fees and it's a bit more, malleable to the business situation that you have. I actually do believe that the trade-off between cash as well as credit and debit will go onto mobile payments, but I think we have a long time, because I think the other element as well is not only getting the institutions and regulations to support what customers are expecting, but there's a lot of education that will happen, so I think that we've got a bit of time yet.
And what about the way innovation is actually led? Is the payments industry influencing the retail industry, or is the retail industry affecting the payments industry? Which way does it go?
I think it's a bit of a healthy tension. I would say that having the end relationship with the consumer, right? So having that final transaction, we very much are privy to what they would prefer and the pain points in the customer journey that we can't really, address. So ultimately, even though I'd like to say that merchants can drive that, we can only inform, because we're ultimately beholden to the regulations and we can't necessarily go around them and create a black market of sorts. So we do ultimately have to kind of work within the systems there. So I still think that shapes the environment, but hopefully there's going to be an increase in terms of the ability to influence what is the best thing by putting the customer first and sharing that with regulators, with the institutions, so they can understand how things are changing and hopefully get there a bit quicker.
So of course the mobile channel is hugely important, it's massive right now and it will continue to be in the future. What is Harris Hoole's stance on mobile?
Absolute advocates. In fact, we'd like to be leading in terms of introducing mobile payments and making it a platform that consumers expect and enjoy as far as a high street retail experience. So we're actually looking to add mobile payments to our current app and do it in a bit of a different way to continue to remove the friction, increase engagement, and just make it more convenient for the customer as an option to pay.
And today, one of the unique positions of yourself, that you were one of the only retailers here, how did you find that placement and what did you learn from today?
It's fantastic. First, it's educational. There are a lot of learnings that come from it. It's such a complex and complicated space, and it's changing so quickly. It's hard to really stay on top of all those changes. So I find that these conferences help distill the core takeaways so that as a retailer we can be a bit more informed. I think the second piece, though, is it's encouraging, because by having a voice in these types of conferences, we're hoping that we're educating about the customer experience and our needs and the pain points that we're looking to ultimately remove, but we don't have the accountability or authority to do so.